So I'll refresh your memory or inform you if you're new to me. The clean and colorful solution is really about 4 simple things that you can do every day. And the days that you do these 4 things, anybody can do them. And the more often you do these things, the better you're gonna look, the better you're gonna feel, the more energy you're gonna have, the less disease you'll have, and it's very likely you'll even lose some weight. So the 4 universal diet truths then are eating less processed food and more whole food, right? So less stuff out of a box and more stuff out of the ground. Cleaner ingredients that your body knows what to do with. The second one is to eat all 5 colors every day. So we know that doesn't mean a bag of Skittles or Tic Tacs or Starburst or anything like that. We're talking about the power of fresh fruits and vegetables. And trust me, you'll actually feel much better if you do that every day than if you ate Skittles every day. The third one is having a really high quality green juice or plant smoothie every single day in lieu of a traditionally processed meal or snack. And the last one is exercising at least 21 minutes every day. So those are the 4 things that make up the clean and colorful solution. And every week I come to you live from my kitchen, sometime in the morning or the afternoon, depending on how my day goes, to help you sort of master one of those diet truths, I'm calling them. So last week we talked about overcoming the number 1 barrier to exercise. And today we're back at the first universal diet truth, and I'm talking about how to eat more whole food. Specifically, this one's near and dear to my heart because I am a huge coffee drinker. And I've gone through phases of trying to talk myself into drinking it black, because it's an interesting flavor. I will be the first to confess that I have spent many years using the flavored coffee creamers that are in the market, full well knowing that they were, well, for several years not knowing they were not good for me, and then even knowing that they weren't good for me, I'm like, oh, it's just a treat, it's just an indulgence. But when I learned how to make it myself without having to use I follow one of these health coaches online, and she calls those non-dairy flavored coffee creamers. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. They're in the refrigerator aisle at the grocery store, and they're every flavor under the sun, and they are delicious. But she calls them cancer in a bottle. Like, that might be a little bit extreme, but if you do read the ingredients list in there, it does sometimes look like those would be things involved in chemical warfare. So I think that's like the rule with the first universal diet truth, right? Eat less complicated stuff, more stuff that's really clean so that your body knows how to process it, and it's not wasting a lot of energy trying to figure stuff out, getting confused, putting stuff in the wrong place, causing oxidation and getting sick, right? That's why we want to eat cleaner ingredients. So it's actually so very, very simple to make your own coffee creamer, and you can actually make it really delicious. And there's a million different ways to do it. So today I just wanted to show you very quickly the equipment that you need to do it, which you're going to love how simple it is. And then some ingredients that I keep on hand just to show you how I make it. And then I have coffee creamer on hand for the week that's really clean and it tastes really good, and I can still enjoy my coffee and not feel like I'm poisoning my body at the same time. So that's it. So we're gonna get started. So here's the level of in-depth equipment you're gonna need. A mason jar with a lid, and then I like to have this. This is one of those things that comes in a protein shaker that you use to shake up your protein. It's not necessarily even an essential part of this. I just like to have it because I like to shake up the coffee creamer every single day, so I keep that in there. That's it for equipment. Unless you're making your own nut milk, then you need a nut milk bag, but we're not even doing that today. So the first main ingredient, and of course you'd want to have your coffee, which I have here sitting, it's black as I'll get out, waiting for my coffee creamer to come. The first ingredient you're going to need is whatever kind of milk you like. So this is the first area where you get to kind of customize based on your life. Like, as you also know, next to these coffee creamers that you don't want to buy anymore is these dairy cases where you've got a bazillion types of dairy milk to choose from. You've got a bunch of lactose-free dairy milk to choose from, and then you've got a bunch of non-dairy milks. These are going to range from coconut milk to almond milk to cashew milk to soy milk to flax milk. I mean, they're all across the board, and they all offer different benefits. And I'll probably do a separate video later kind of explaining those, because that's a whole nother topic. Like, how do you pick, which one do you pick? Some of them are flavored, some are unflavored, some are sweetened, some are unsweetened, so how do you know which one to pick? That's up to you. So get whatever milk you want that is clean and good for you, right? Based on whatever your belief is there. You can also make your own nut milk and go completely unprocessed. You can buy raw nuts, soak them overnight, put them in the blender, and run them through a nut milk bag. And that's going to be as clean as possible, but that's one more step, and I really want this to be simple so you can do this every single day. So if you're not into making your own nut milk, I totally get it, and that's fine. But just start with some kind of milk you like. This one that I have right now is actually a flax milk, which I really like because it's thick and it's creamy. It's on the lower calorie, lower sugar side of things. It doesn't have any protein, which is kind of a bummer, but it does have like 30% of your RDA for calcium. It also has some omega-3s, which are tricky to get, and vitamin B12, which if you don't eat a lot of animal products, that is hard to get. So this is a nice way to get in some nutrients that are pretty tricky to find. So I'm gonna just fill up this mason jar with however much that is. I usually make my coffee creamer to last me probably about 4 days. It would probably last longer, but I don't know. It's so easy to make, it just doesn't really take that much time. So this will probably get me through at least the next couple of days, depending on how much coffee I need. Okay, so now I have my base and it's creamy, right? That's gonna make my coffee creamy, but I want this to be flavored and I want this to be delicious, so I get really excited about drinking my coffee. Sometimes I literally get out of bed to drink coffee. Like, I'll be laying in bed and I'll be like, nah. And then I'm like, oh, but I can make coffee. And like, this is the stuff that makes me get excited to get up. Okay, so some of my favorite, first you want to sweeten it, right? If you like your coffee sweet, then you have lots of options when it comes to sweetening it. You can go artificial, like stevia or Splenda, which, as you know, for the clean and colorful solution, I would not suggest that at all, because if you want to talk about complicating your body, artificial sweeteners are the number one way to do that. I mean, those are funky ingredients to begin with, plus it's tricking your body into thinking it's sugar when it's really not. So I would never suggest using an artificial sweetener. So then you could go sugar, which is fine, and especially if you're having it in the morning, I mean, of course we need to watch added sugar, so everything in moderation, but if you're having it in the morning, sometimes I'll add a little bit of sugar to my coffee or sweetener to my coffee, and then I go run. And so then I actually have the energy. It actually counts as a pre-fuel for my day. So sugar isn't the worst thing in the world. You just have to be really careful about how you do it. So you have regular sugar, which is not ideal, but it's possible. Agave gets a lot of attention because it's lower on the glycemic index because of the way it's metabolized. So you won't see a spike in your blood sugar. But there's some other complications to it too, because it's in the liver and it goes straight into fat. So agave is there too. It's sweeter than sugar, so you can get away with using less. But honestly, my preferred sweetener is honey. Calorie per calorie, pretty much the same as sugar, but you're gonna get extra antioxidants in here. Plus it's an all natural. Like when you read the ingredients, it says like honey. Like there's nothing else in it. So you could add, if you were gonna use a caloric sweetener, I would use honey. And then I always like to add cinnamon or like pumpkin pie spice to just about everything. I put them in my smoothies too, mostly because cinnamon there's a lot of research showing that cinnamon is beneficial in terms of blood glucose management. So you've heard me talk a lot about, and through a lot of my videos and a lot of my lessons, is because we're really just trying to manage blood sugar. So you don't want to see these huge spikes in your blood sugar, because that's what causes insulin to release. Insulin takes the sugar out of your blood and it puts it in your muscles or your liver as glycogen, so you can use it later. But if those are stored, if those are full, then the sugar or the extra energy goes into your fat cells, and that's how you get fat. So of course we really want to control this spike. So things that you can do to slow down the blood sugar spike are add things like fiber, fat, protein, and cinnamon is coming up really big, even in the treatment of diabetes. So I add cinnamon to like everything. Plus it tastes really good and it has no calories. The other thing, this is a new ingredient for me. I've been playing with them probably for the last like 4 or 5 months. And it's these little stevia things. They come from Now Foods, and they come in like a dozen different flavors. Generally, I'm not a huge fan of stevia because it's still a 0-calorie sweetener. But I like these for the flavor that they add, because this is cinnamon vanilla, this is dark chocolate, there's a hazelnut, I have French vanilla, coconut. This one with coconut milk in the blender with pineapple turns into a pina colada. It's amazing. And then English toffee. So I've sort of played with all of these, and right now I'm on an English toffee coconut kick. And you really don't need a lot of it. It's actually a very little amount of these sweeteners, but you can get these. These are Now Foods, or you could go to any of your health food stores like your Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, and they'll have a section of flavored stevias. Get the liquid form, get a flavored one. If you're looking at it for just sweetness, I would use honey. If you're looking at it for flavor, use these, because it's a great way to get in an interesting flavor without having to use some really complicated, confusing stuff that looks like it should be in chemical warfare. So that's it. That's going to be my coffee creamer for the next couple days. So I just put it in here. It's got this shaker thing in it. And that's it. That's all it takes. And you can customize that to whatever you like whatever milk you have in the kitchen and whatever flavor you like. And so if you go and you use those coffee creamers, like, I challenge you then to take a look at it and go, oh, I really like this peppermint chocolate mocha one, and then look at it. Just look at it, please. Just look at how much sugar is in there. Look at the complicated level of ingredients, and then look at how many calories it is, and then check the serving size, because sometimes it's like 1 tablespoon. And really, I mean, maybe you really only use 1 tablespoon, but usually you don't. So sometimes, I mean, you could be easily adding like 50 to 100 calories to every single cup of coffee, and you're allowed to have up to 3 to 4 a day and still live in the world of moderate caffeine consumption. So that can really add up and cause a problem if you're really worried about your waistline too. But anyhow, so now my coffee it's not black anymore. Oh, it's not that warm though. I have been sitting here for too long. But it is good. It's flavored. It tastes the way I like. Okay, so that is it. That is it for today's clean and colorful conversation as it pertains to unprocessing your coffee creamer. And you can see how simple it is. You just need whatever milk, you need whatever sweetener, you need a mason jar, and some kind of flavor agent, and some cinnamon. Add cinnamon to it. That's it. It's that easy. It's not that expensive. It's not that hard. It doesn't take that much time, and you're saving your body so much on the inside from trying to undo all the complicated things that coffee creamer will do to you. So I will be back next Monday. We're going to move on to the second universal diet truth, which would be eat all 5 colors. And I'm going to go and I'm not about, it's because it's fall, I think we're going to talk about pumpkin. I'll do some kind of pumpkin something. But if you do want more information like this, quick tips that are actionable, that actually make a difference in your life and can help you live this clean and colorful lifestyle, I have 2 things for you today. One, I always have. That's the Clean and Colorful Jumpstart Guide. It is for free. If you go to cleanandcolorful.com, it is a 14-page guide. It's beautiful. I might be a little bit biased, but I think it's beautiful. And it will really give you the do's and the don'ts of adopting the 4 universal diet truths of the Clean and Colorful solution. The other thing that I have right now, which I just announced over the weekend, is I'm actually going to be hosting my very first online live training. So I threw it out to the group to see what people wanted to learn about. It came back to snacking, which is great because I have an awesome workshop that I've hosted on smart snacking strategies in the past. So I know that this workshop will make a really big impact on you. And all of the details for that, I'll put in the registration also. So that's going to be, or in the comments, that's going to be free. That's going to be October 4th. I'm going to do it twice. I'll do it at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'll come back again at 6 p.m. So the registration link for the Jumpstart Guide, which you can start doing today, will be in the links, and then the registration link, I don't know if you can hear that. It's a siren. I live right downtown, so I guess there's a lot of action happening where I live. Apparently it stopped right downstairs. So all of the information for the Clean and Colorful live training that's going to be on October 4th will also be in there. So that you just need to RSVP the event and then register with your email so you can get the training materials. And that's going to be really fun, and it'll be in-depth, and I'll be coming to you from my office, and we're really going to go through a workshop program. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you found it interesting. If you've got a question about the coffee creamer, by all means, leave it, or a different ingredient that I didn't cover, or a reason why you like a certain milk, or anything that would add to this clean and colorful conversation about unprocessing your coffee creamer, just put it in the comments below. And until I see you again, I hope you are happy, healthy, and well. Bye-bye.